You have me, Ernest.
Started.
I'm in South Beach.
I can't
What's
hear
up, E Nation?
anything.
What's up, E Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Miami Heat Roundtable. I'm joined today by Ernest. You can find him at Miami Heat Talk, and I'm joined by Trent, who's driving right now. You can find him at Miami Heat Network. So the Miami Heat have lost 6 games in a row now, and most recently they lost to the Knicks Saturday afternoon. Was it 125 to 109, I believe? Close game. Uh, the Heat tied it actually almost at the end of the third quarter. Julius Randle hit a big three, and they never looked back. So this team's in trouble right now, guys. We haven't talked about this losing streak. We're playing the Suns tonight. Not going to be an easy game playing against D Book and KD. So this could be 7. So what are your guys' thoughts overall, generally, with this team and how we've been performing? Who
Sucks.
wants to jump in? Yeah, it's horrible.
Sucks, man. Just, you try to be positive. You try to spin a nice little sugar coat on it. You try to be as confident as you can. This is just a bad time of the season. I feel like the team can still turn it around. It's still halfway there. 24-22. It's bad, but it's not that bad. You're still seventh seed. You can still turn it around. But yeah, man, I mean, it's a bad time of the season, losing 6 straight. It just sucks.
Yeah. So I'm gonna actually be a little positive in this because I feel like I've been a little negative in all the ones. I will say this, right? It's looking really, really bad. Like I said, we're in a 6 game losing streak. We're playing our strong suit is defense, and we're not even doing that. Um, Offensively, we just our 3 players that we rely on aren't hitting shots. They're not doing too well for us at the moment. The team overall, and I feel like Spo, we kind of don't say too much about him, but he's playing a part in this. It's a factor of why this team's struggling. Rotation is not the greatest. His sets, the plays, the motions, whatever the case may be for this offense. Even Jimmy Butler's friend came out saying, "Bro, y'all watching these games? They're not setting plays up for Jimmy. They're trying to get other people going." And personally, I think that was a shot at Tyler. I think they're always trying to get Tyler going and stuff like that, and it's killing the offense. Our rookie came back. And if you watch the game against the Knicks, what was he doing? And it wasn't because of him. It was just where he was set up. It was just bad. So we got to look at Spo. We got to look at the big three. Got to look at this whole team. And but like you said, our record's still 24-22. I believe last year we had 24-21. I believe around there.
Same thing. Yeah.
So there has to be some optimism, but I tell you this the upcoming schedule is not looking good. And I've been saying in my videos, I think we can lose every single game on this schedule because they haven't showed us they can win. And even in the Wizards, you can't say that's an easy game because we lost to the Memphis Grizzlies. There's no such thing as an easy game. You have to prove it to me at this point. So, and going to the next game, I said this to Amir when we was watching the game live. I said that Julius Randle buzzer beater is going to kill all the momentum for the Miami Heat. And guess what? They hit that fourth quarter and they destroyed us. They couldn't miss. Just off that buzzer beater, that gave them so momentum because the Heat in that third quarter tied it up. We was looking good. And then bam, Julius Randle ended it all.
It's kind of disheartening, though. It's like we're not trying to give excuses, but there's like a different reason, if you will, for why we've performed bad, not just in the 6 game losing streak, but throughout the year. Injuries. Jimmy's missed a third of the season. Bam, Tyler, yada yada yada. Caleb, Haywood, literally every player has missed time. It seems like, um, and then like Jimmy's not aggressive. He's being passive. He doesn't care. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, he's kind of tried, over the last 2 games against the Celtics and the Knicks, and Jimmy took 10 shots in the first quarter. He took 10 shots on average over the first 4 games of the losing streak. So we're like, why is Jimmy not aggressive? And why is he load managing in the game, as Martel would say? Um, but yeah, like he shot 20 shots, super efficient, 11 for 20, 28 points. Like he was like 3 steals, like was like in the passing lanes, and like we still lost. So it's like there's something really wrong with our team right now, which is unfortunate. We also got Jaime back to your point, but he missed a few weeks, so he's probably rusty, so that's fine. But it's tough, man. Like we have reasons why we've lost, but right now I don't know what that reason is. Does anybody know, like, or can
I
anybody
can tell you,
pinpoint what that would be?
I
Like,
have. I'm watching these games and I'm looking at it and I know why. I mean, we've talked about it before. It's the thing that we've been talking about, or the thing that Heat fans have been talking about, clamoring for years. It's the fact that we don't have anybody in the front court next to Bam Adebayo. I understand you have Haywood Highsmith starting. I understand that Haywood Highsmith did really good the beginning of the season. I understand that we put Caleb there, Kevin Love there. We need to address this problem. We need to address the fact that it's just Bam Adebayo, who is a 6'9" center, doing it on his own, basically. I love Haywood Highsmith. Haywood Highsmith is a guy that you put on the one of the best players on the other side, but we need a definite upgrade there. Because Bam Adebayo, he has a game that he gives you 12 points and 13 rebounds against the Knicks. Haywood Highsmith on 21 minutes does 8 points and 4 rebounds. It's solid, but you need more size down there. And then we saw it the game against Boston. Porzingis killed us. There was a lot of times where Bam Adebayo was switching off of Porzingis to go on Jason Tatum, and who was guarding Porzingis? It was Haywood Highsmith. And Porzingis was having a field day. It was the same thing we saw against Denver. I've said that I feel that the Miami Heat can do it without a big man, but this 6-game losing streak is just showing us that we are desperately needing somebody down there next to Bam to give us some size, to give us some rebounding. And also, I'll point up with, go back with what Trent was saying earlier about the rotation, about what Spo's doing. I don't like Rozier and Tyler Hero starting in the backcourt together. It's just not working. You have two guys that play the same that basically play the same position, play the same way. They're both not, I don't want to say liabilities on defense, but it's not Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, where one of them's a defensive specialist. Neither of them have it. So to go back on that, I feel like this 6-game winning streak is a result of that. It's a result of the fact that we don't have an answer in the starting power forward or even center position. And then the fact of the way that this roster is being rotated, I just don't think it's working. I think if you put a Jaime Jaquez and a Duncan Robinson next to Terry Rozier starting, have Tyler Hero come off the bench as the sixth man, it'll work. But it's kind of like what Trent said earlier about Jimmy Butler's friend on social media saying what he said. It's kind of a shot to Tyler. And it's also the fact that we know that Tyler won't come off the bench. So all of this stuff, I think, is just kind of hovering around Tyler Hero.
Yep. And I would say this, man. I talked about this yesterday in today's video, and we have a problem. Our big three, because you brought up a good point of our size and stuff like that. I'm glad you took over that point. Now I'm going to take over this point. Our big three together with Tyler Hero as a starter. With him being a starter, they are 63 and 64. With him coming off the bench, they are 93 and 49. All right. This season, I believe when Hero's playing with Jimmy Butler, I think they're 5 and 11. Pathetic. Pathetic. You can't have your big three
5 and 15.
5 and 15. So you can't have your big three and be negative. That's just it's just that's you're not going nowhere. You're not going nowhere, right? And so I'm tired of, oh well, we went to the finals last year and we're doing, we was playing sloppy basketball, we was on a play. Bro, that's not gonna happen every single season. And it just feels a little bit different this year because typically Miami can figure these problems out and I think they can still turn it around. But body language tells me a lot. And there's something that happened in that locker room that we don't know yet because Miami keeps stuff in. Like we're that organization that stuff doesn't really leak too much. So I think something happened. I think it played a factor with the Lowry situation. Let's not forget. I think it played a factor in the whole Dame situation during the off season. That's probably playing a factor with Jimmy. Jimmy, Bam, they wanted Dame, and the fact that we didn't get him is very frustrating. Now, you know, we ended with Terry Rozier, which is fine, but we missed out on so many free agents. We missed out on having good role players on this team, and we're technically just running the back in a sense, and it's unfortunate, right? And so Miami Heat against the winning teams, right? And I get it's regular season, they're 7 and 15. They have a 7 and 15. And guess what? When we look at the schedule, the next 4 games we're playing winning teams. We play the Suns, we play the Kings, and we play the Clippers. Have y'all seen enough for us to win those games? All those teams can score. I think
Yep.
the Clippers are gonna blow up Miami 200 to like they're gonna blow us out if they don't come and play. And like you said, we don't have enough size. Um, and it's super unfortunate, right? And also, I will say this during this 6 game losing streak, our big three, what they're averaging, Jimmy's around 19 points a game, which is around his averages during the regular season, right? We don't really expect too much from Jimmy, but that's around his averages. But Tyler's at 18 and Bam's at 17 and a half and 9 rebounds. That's just not going to cut it out. So we need to figure this out ASAP. Um, And since the big three, since the start of last season, we're all playing. They're 31-35s. These numbers are not lying. They're not. We're just not winning with a big three, and with the depth that we already have, it's not going to cut it out. It's not. So yeah.
I'm happy that we didn't just throw all this on Tyler because it's not just on him. Like, one, it starts at the top with Spo. He needs to get some criticism. We're not going to get rid of Spo. Obviously, he's the best coach in the NBA. He just signed that long-term contract. So first, it starts there with his adjustments and rotations. He's got to figure that out. Second, it's Jimmy Butler and Bam. Like, they're our top two, our 1 and 2. Tyler's our 3. Like, I don't hear another team talking this much smack on their number 3. Like, I do it. I'm guilty. I'm back and forth. I am like, based on each of his performances, that will dictate how I feel about Tyler Hero. I like Tyler Hero. I really do, but he's our 3rd best player. And I don't know. To your point, you guys mentioned Tyler most likely won't go on the bench, but if he's not willing to sacrifice, Trent's favorite word, right? Then for allowing Duncan or Jaime to start in his place for the betterment of the team, then we have to possibly trade him. He's the odd man out. Sorry, Tyler. Like, we're not going to trade Jimmy, at least this year. We're not going to trade Bam Adebayo. So we might have to shake things up. So,
Yeah.
Ernest, you mentioned size is a factor. And I can go either way. Like, putting a 4 next to Bam or even converting Bam back to a power forward and putting just like a big 7-foot center next to him. It's unfortunate that Bam has not developed a 3-point shot. Like, he's got to develop that. He's 26. He still has time, but I don't know, man. We need some front court size. Again, whether that's a power forward, which is probably more ideal, someone that could spread the floor with Bam.
Yeah.
But do you think even like an old school big next to him, like, would matter at this point? Or do you think we need someone that would have to spread the floor next to Bam Adebayo?
Well, actually, Bam can shoot threes. He's proved it. It's not the fact that he can't. I just don't. I think if you take Bam away from the paint with this roster, who's going to get the rebound? So that's the problem. You can't expect Haywood Highsmith to battle down and grab rebounds. I mean, you can expect Jimmy and some players, but that's the reason why I don't feel Bam is able to develop his outside game, is because he needs to be the one that goes down there and crashes the boards. Now, to your point, I don't like. No, I mean, I don't think Bam moving to power forward like is the solution. It'd be awesome because we've seen it before in 2020 when he was playing with Kelly Olynyk and Myers Leonard. He played the power forward position. I actually think Bam is fine at the center. You can leave him there because of his defense. I just think you need to get somebody like Kelly Olynyk for an example, a guy that's 6'11", 7 feet, can space the floor, can hit threes on his own. Now, if you get a traditional center like like an Andre Drummond next to Bam, it's not going to work. No, you need a spacer. Like that's the right solution. Whether the spacer is a power forward or a center, doesn't matter. Give me somebody that's 6'10" to 7 feet tall that can hit threes and space the floor, and I think you got your answer. And if that person can actually play good defense, then my God, that's the cherry on the top, and that's what's going to make us even better. But right now, with Bam Adebayo, Haywood Highsmith, Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, and Terry Rozier, I don't think that's the right lineup to go with. I think obviously Tyler coming off the 6-man, Jaime Jaquez and Duncan Robinson's there. It's better because look at Terry Rozier playing out there. He's not playing like himself. He can't with Tyler. He can't at all. So when he starts the games, he's got to go off of Tyler. And he's got to play off the ball, which, I mean, he can do, but it's not really the best at. But if you take Tyler Hero out and put in a Duncan Robinson, who's a shooter, right there, the offense gets so much better. You take out Haywood Highsmith and you put in, I don't know. That's the problem. Who? Kevin Love? Nikola Jovic? That didn't really work. Caleb Martin's your only other option. But then it doesn't really work. So now what you need to rely on with a small lineup is scoring a lot, which we haven't been doing. So it's a catch-22 right now with this lineup. Spoelstra can make changes, but is it really going to work? So that's why I feel trading for a big man, trading for a 7-foot center or power forward, somebody that can space the floor, is the answer. And with Tyler Hero, that's why I feel like trading him may work. It's not because you have to trade Tyler. I think Tyler can possibly work. But with the fact of you've seen results and victories without him, the fact that you see that you can do it, Now that you trade him and upgrade that roster spot, a power forward or a center, I just think it makes us even more dangerous because we can do it.
Let me. So yeah, I agree, and it's funny. It's funny because um over here in Miami Heat Network, my supporters, it's we be like Trey Tyler, Trey Tyler, Trey Tyler, and then other videos like maybe Amir and Ernest, they be like, why does Trent always want to trade Tyler, Tyler? And now we're at this point where it's like now the things turning a little bit. Now it's like, yeah, maybe we gotta let go of Tyler. I just seen the vision before this. That's all. But anyway, I just had to talk my shit real quick. But I just want to say this usage rating real quick, right? Um, Let me throw this usage rating out for the last 5 games, and it's pretty interesting, right? Jimmy Butler's usage rating is at 21.3, right? Now you got Tyler who's at 26.7. You got Bam at 23.2. Now, you want to know on the team that has a higher usage rating than Jimmy Butler? You probably won't even believe it, but Kevin Love has a higher usage rating than Jimmy Butler. Kevin
Wow.
Love, he 2.9, 22.9. So this kind of just continues to keep going back of Spo. What is going on with Spo? Why is he trying to get these other players involved when we need our best player? We need our best player to win these games, and obviously we need Tyler and Bam to do their thing too. We get it, but we need to live. We got to live and die off Jimmy. It's
Yep.
simple as that. Especially if this organization plans to make no moves. And we've been saying this whole episode, I think trades are done. Maybe we do some buyouts, but our eternal decision to turn this around is simple. Ben's Tyler. That's just an internal decision right there. We keep saying it this whole episode. That's an internal decision where this can possibly turn the whole team around. And if it doesn't turn the team around, we talked about it on the live stream a few days ago. It's the New York Knicks. I know no one wants to talk about it, but a man knows what I'm about to say. If we can't win this year, it's time to blow it up. I'm sorry to say it. I believe it. I do believe it. Jimmy's only going to get older. His contract's only going to get fatter. Tyler and Bam, if we couldn't win with Jimmy, what do you think Tyler and Bam's going to do? They ain't winning shit. They might not even make it to the playoffs if this front office continues to add what they're going to add around those players. It matters what you add, and they ain't adding shit. Look who we've been adding lately. A Kevin Love, a Tay Rozier, Thomas Bryant. It's like these players that ain't really going to be doing shit. I love Terry Rozier, and I think it's going to obviously change around. So I'm not going to put too much on that because we all preach for him to come to the team. It's hard for him at the moment because we're over there trying to force feed other players when he's just trying to play his ball. So yeah, I truthfully believe it. Maybe we can have another episode. I don't want to talk about it too soon because we still have a whole season. We have a whole postseason. That's probably like more of an off-season talk. But I think that reality's coming in real soon if stuff doesn't change around in Miami.
Yeah, totally. And I think we're all in agreement that we do need to change our rotation and see if Tyler will come off the bench. And how many games do we have until the trade deadline? I want to see how many games we could play and adjust our lineup, see if Tyler's willing to sacrifice, and see if that can
We
solve some of the problems. I mean, it might not because right now, defensively, offensively, we're playing like shit. That's a recipe for disaster. Our
Yeah.
offensive rating was 23. Our defensive rating is at 13, 14. We should be a top 10 defensive rating team. That's our identity, and we're slipping. Bam, there was a report or article a few days ago. Bam was saying, "Hey, I know the issue. What's going on? We're not communicating, which is a fucking huge issue as a basketball team. You need to be linked and communicating, and we're not playing good defensively. Like offensive struggles are there, but this is a bad recipe. Like we're not stopping folks and we're not scoring. So that's why we're losing these games to a certain degree. So we need to figure out, I think, defensively. But yeah,
Hey,
man,
let me
I
let me
agree with you, Trent.
let me say something real quick, right?
Go for it.
So when people are saying they're not communicating, right? You know what that tells me? Because I play basketball and you play basketball, Amir. There is some tension. It's tension in the air because don't mind that stream. All right, listen. So I think there's tension in the air. Why are we not communicating with our teammates? It's a simple switch and roll. Let's play whatever you got to do in the court to stop the other opposing team. Why are we not talking to each other? I think the first thing you need to do to win a basketball game, talk to your teammates. Like, yeah, somebody sent a screen. Why are we not switching? It's like, it's basic things. It's simple things that the Miami Heat aren't doing. So that's why I think there's tension in this locker room. And maybe we'll find out when the season's over, but that's a long time. I don't think we'll
Yeah.
find out for a while, you know? And so then we're going to come back in the off season and be like, we called it. We knew there was something that was going on. Was there going to be a big trade that's happening? Or is it just going to be something leaking? Because this is not the Miami Heat. We're not used to this at all.
Well, I'll make a point to that, Trent. Like, I get it. I know it's easy to say stuff like that. That's true, but we have seen bad times with the Heat roster. Maybe it's a little bit of a lot of stuff. Maybe there is a little cause for concern in the locker room because when you lose 6 straight, think shit's bad. Maybe it's a little bit because you traded for Terry Rozier. You took Kyle Lowry out the locker room. Kyle Lowry was a love presence in the locker room, loved by Bam, loved by Jimmy. So now you're bringing somebody new. Rozier comes in. He doesn't want to step on any toes, so he's not really playing his game. Spoelstra's putting Rozier and Hero out there. Maybe that's not the optimal lineup. There's a lot of stuff going on, and that I think that the Miami Heat can fix. But I keep going back, and the reason why I say Tyler Hero, I don't really believe trading Tyler Hero is even the answer. But all I'm trying to say is, what you traded for. You sent Kyle Lowry, who was that? What you were saying, Trent, the guy that calls switching screens, the guy that was Kyle Lowry. Remember what like I said a lot in the past, the stuff that Kyle Lowry did out there didn't show up in the box score. That was the stuff. The taking offensive charges, the calling out screens, to helping your other assignments, to helping your teammates. He did all of that. So now that Kyle Lowry's not there on the court, now you got Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo who have to step up more in a leadership role. Maybe they weren't stepping up as much as we thought. Maybe it was a lot more Kyle Lowry that we really wanted to believe. But it doesn't matter because the fact is we traded for Terry Rozier. The fact is you traded for somebody to boost your offensive game, and it's not helping. And maybe the reason why it's not helping is because you are putting so many ball-dominant players in one lineup, and there's only one basketball. So maybe that's the reason why I say maybe it's time to switch things up. Tyler don't want to come off the bench? Cool. Talk to the guy that you just traded for. Hey, bro, maybe it's time for you to come off the bench. Maybe it's time to put Jaime Jaquez and Tyler Hero in the starting unit with Terry Rozier coming off the bench. I don't think it's broken. I don't think the Miami Heat system is broken. I don't think the season is over. I don't think we need to think about blowing it up. I don't think we need to do any of that. I think all of that is just cause for concern. I think what the Miami Heat need to understand is that it's a bad time. You ride out a bad time and you take it a game at a time. If you win tonight against Phoenix, all this crap is going to stop. All this shit talking is going to stop. You win tonight against Phoenix, you can turn the momentum. You got to take it a game at a time. But the reason why I'm saying to trade for Tyler Hero, it's not because I feel like we should trade for him. It's because we've won without him before. We know what Jimmy Butler's going to do in the playoffs. I don't think Tyler Hero has that same dog in him. If I have to choose between Jimmy or Tyler in the playoffs, I'm going with Jimmy all the time. I know he's older. I get it. But that's who I'm going with. I'm living and dying with Jimmy Butler because Bam and Jaime Jaquez are the future. My opinion. So you're going to go with Jimmy. And in my opinion, the reason why you trade for Tyler is because he's such an asset. Not like Jimmy. You're not going to get much for Jimmy. He's 34 with that contract. You take Tyler Hero as an asset with Nikola Jovic, and if you can get a Lauri Markkanen by adding a third and a fourth team to give Utah multiple draft compensation, why wouldn't you entertain that? If you can trade for, like Amir did in his previous videos, a Kyle Kuzma for Tyler Hero, maybe that's a terrible trade, but what are you doing? You're boosting up the starting power forward position, giving somebody next to Bam. You can put Tyler or Jaime Jaquez in Tyler Hero's position, which we've seen work. Now you can let Terry Rozier say, hey, bro, now you have more of an offensive load. Do what we brought you here to do. Terry Rozier in the last 3 games in the Heat is averaging like 9 or 10 points a game. And that's because he just doesn't want to step on toes. So that's the reason why I'm saying the Heat should think about trading Tyler. We got 5 games left before the deadline. If you trade for Tyler Hero and boost up that front court, I think that's going to help this team a lot better because now you can split You still have Duncan Robinson, Jaime Jaquez, Caleb Martin, Haywood Highsmith, a bunch of guys that can play that starting two position. So you're going to have a lot of flexibility. That's the reason why I'm saying to trade Tyler. Just my opinion. I don't know what you guys think about
Hey,
that.
I will say this. I will say this. What you brought up with Kyle Lowry maybe being the bigger leader. I meant this the leader and that no one really was talking about it. Well, that's a problem. Then we have a bigger problem then, and it's
Mhm.
Jim and it's Jimmy. Like let's just talk about it. Why isn't he being the bigger leader? Why isn't he leading this team with Bam? So you brought a point with Lowry, which may be the case, but we got to look at Jimmy now, and I feel
Yeah.
like that's a problem right there alone. So Jimmy, I don't know what's happening. Get it together, my boy. And sometimes this does happen because if you notice, if you watch other teams, like if you look at Kawhi Leonard, he's quiet. He's not really the leader. And they brought in Russell Westbrook because he's more of that leader. And so they do bring in people like that. And I think we probably traded away the leader in Kyle Lowry. But sometimes you have to sacrifice. And this is when Jimmy, if you really want to win a championship and if you really want to turn this around, you have to step up in other ways than basketball. So, and the reason why I'm bringing up blowing up is because what's our time frame? It's done and over with after this season. I think. What do we want? What are we doing next year? You think we're just gonna we're gonna make a couple trades? We'll be fine? No, we already seen what the front office has done. They're not making big moves. What are they gonna do? What are we really gonna do? East is gonna continue to get better. We're gonna continue to get worse. We gotta really just wait and see develop. That's why I keep bringing this blowing up. I know that may be a little bit dramatic, but remember, I say stuff because I can see something that's going to happen. Well, I hope not, but I just see this not going in the right path. And even if we win today, which is not, we're not going to win today. This is true. We're not. We're playing a way better team than us. Um, we're going to get a win, but it's going to be like a 98-97 win. We going to be confident with that? I'm not. I need a win that's going to show me that we that top dog in the Eastern Conference. We need to blow a team out. Then that's when I'll be like, okay, we good. But winning 98-97 to me, I get it. The WW is the same thing, but there's a different feeling of blowing a team out and winning an ugly game. And that's what Miami's known for, winning ugly games. But I'm tired of that. Let's blow a team out. Let's show who we are. Let's show the top dogs. So that's
I
all I
think
got.
I think we're gonna turn it around, Trent. I think right now it's bad times, bad matchups. You just traded for Rozier. Like I think it's just one of those things that you just got to get this team more acclimated. But yeah, man. I mean, we like I just I would feel that if we upgraded the front court, give something next to Bam a little bit better than Highsmith or Martin, you're just giving us a better shot to win. I mean, that's just something I've noticed in this last game, 6 game stretch. Because even we get Jaime Jaquez back, and it's really not a difference, honestly. It's just a roster.
Yeah, I agree, man. Listen, I don't really have too much to say about that. I got to clock in. Sorry about that. But Amir, if you have any final thoughts or whatever you got to say, hop on.
I gotta I gotta go too. As you can see, I'm outside right now. I'm in Vegas on a work
Yeah,
trip.
but we did this for you guys, our people, our subscribers. We've cut our own videos. Amir did something about Kyle Kuzma. I did something about Laurie marketing. Trends in Miami Heat Network. He's always giving you guys his thought and updates about every player. But we just wanted to let you guys know what we think on what we feel the Heat roster need to do. Maybe a trade is needed. Maybe a roster upgrade is needed. Maybe a buyout is needed. Something needs to be changed. You got Jimmy Butler all over, Jimmy Butler's friend going all over in social media. Is that just a dumbass friend who's saying something where Jimmy says shut up? Or does it mean more? We want you guys to tell us in the comments, what do you guys think? What do you think the Heat need to do is this 6 game losing streak something that's a lot more serious? Or do you think it's just something that's going on right now? It's January, it's bad times. Maybe you guys feel a trade is necessary. Maybe the Tyler Hero trade, maybe trading Rozier. I don't know. That's for you guys in the comments. We want to hear from you guys because this is just us in this platform talking about it. You guys let us know what y'all truly think. And this gives us a better understanding, not just for now, but what to talk about in the future.
Yep, I agree. And I'll say this for my last thing. I dealt this with the Dallas Cowboys, where Micah Parsons' brother came out and was talking crap about Dallas and stuff like that. I think it's a similar situation. But what I be thinking is Jimmy saying something or is just the friend just feeling this, and that's what I keep going back and forth with, you know. So that's something we have to watch out for. I think Jimmy is a professional, but we don't know because this year it feels a little bit different. His body language does feel a little bit different on the court and off the court. So we'll
That's
see.
Yeah.
true.
We love you guys,
All
and
right, guys. It was great seeing you. Thanks for this, y'all. And don't forget, Miami Heat Talk, guys. Hit the like, subscribe button. Subscribe to Team to Beat Miami Heat with Amir, Miami Heat Network with Trent. Support our boy Martel over at Miami Heat Zone Podcast. We really appreciate subscribes. Really helps us out, bring you guys more content. Appreciate you guys. Love y'all. And of course, that's enough said.
Thanks, guys.